So how wonderful to be reminded of who we are and what our opportunity is, that we are love, and it is our opportunity to be that. When I was a kid, my Aunt Audrey uh, told me, Carly, know who you are and be that. I was trying to be my brother. My brother was automatically awesome at every sport that he entered into. He was the best in the neighborhood at baseball and basketball. We weren't allowed to play football because my mother's brother at 15 had died playing football. So us and the cousins were denied an opportunity to play football. But my brother was a star. He was, everything was so easy for him. And he used to break my heart because in the neighborhood, I was probably in our crowd one of the least athletic little colored boys you had ever run into. I could sing, I could play the piano, I could draw pictures, and I could paint. I could go into the field and come back with the most beautiful bouquet of wild flowers you ever did see. I could throw a pillow and it would land in just the right spot on the couch. I loved to clean. I loved climbing trees and fishing, shooting my bow and arrow. But when it came to sports, I just didn't have it. It was so painful for me to be a boy who can't really play sports, to be a colored boy. We didn't have much to brag on. But one thing we bragged on was, quote unquote, our people sure can play some ball, can't we? And then somebody might glance at Carly and go, well, most of us. Because my brother was the star, he got to always be a captain of a team, and he always got to make the first pick. And his first pick was always me. I got Carly. It was so confusing to me for quite a while why he would want the worst person on the field to be on his team. Because there were a few times where I actually could cost our team the game. I once grabbed the basketball, came into my hands, and I dribbled down the court. I was so happy. And it was one of those few times where I got to the basket and I jumped up and I tossed that ball, and that ball went in with what we used to call a swish shot. And now what they changed into nothing but net. I was so happy. And then all of a sudden I became aware that everybody was laughing, cracking up, because I had dribbled the ball down to the wrong net, the wrong basket. I did stuff like that. And still the next day or the day after, when we would gather together on the field, and my brother had the first choice, he never failed to say, I got Carly. You know, I was always seeing other things had my attention. If I was in center field and I was supposed to have my eye on the ball and on the game, all it took was a hawk to fly back, and I was fixated on the hawk. The ball could actually hit me upside the head, and I wouldn't even put out my glove because I wasn't looking at the ball. I was looking at the hawk. I could be mesmerized by the sunset on the side of the field, and I wouldn't be paying attention to the game. My heart just wasn't in it. So Aunt Audrey said, Carly, know who you are and be that. Took me a while to get what she meant. That trying to be someone other than yourself will never work. I was generally upset with myself after the games. I was embarrassed. I was ashamed. For quote unquote colored people at the time, there was a mantra that we all said: be a credit to your God, be a credit to your race, be a credit to your family, and be a credit to yourself. Well, in my world, colored boys should be able to play basketball and baseball. And so I felt down. I'm letting my people down. I am not a credit to my race. I'm letting my brother down. I'm not a credit to this family. And I felt like I wasn't a credit to anybody. My brother blew my mind. I would generally grab my glove or grab my sneakers and take off after the games, and I'd be walking away quickly toward home from the field, and my head would be hung down, and I didn't like myself. And every single time, all of a sudden, here would come my brother running up to catch up to where I was. And he'd put his arm around my shoulder. And he'd say, Carly, you have no idea how much I wish I could sing like you. You have no idea how I wish I could draw pictures and paint like you. How I wish that when we were singing our church songs and our group, the Anderson Wonders, and you would just walk to the edge of the stage anytime, anywhere, no matter how many people in a small church or at a big convention in Chicago with 2,000 people in the audience, you walk without fear or anxiety at all to the edge of the stage, and you open your mouth and the Holy Spirit takes you over. And the people start clapping and stomping and praising and speaking in tongues. Carly, you're always going to be my first choice. Most anybody, Carly, can play some ball. Ball players in this neighborhood are a dime a dozen. But you've got God in you. And you're pretty delicate, kind of like a flower. And I'm not going to let anybody step on the flower that you are. I'm going to bring you water. Know who you are and be that. We all have our unique gifts that we have been born to bring into this process called the living of a life. And love is what we are and what we have to give. Love yourself just as you are, with nothing needing to be added and nothing needing to be taken away. Be here to grow, but not because you're not okay as you are, but because there is more of you to be. You're a work in progress. Whatever the question, love is the answer. For my brother, it was way more important to love his little brother, who he thought was as delicate as a flower, to tend to him and take care of him. Way more important than winning a game. Each and every one of us is awesome and amazing. Be your authentic self. Jesus didn't try to be John the Baptist. John was being John. If any of you out there have any thought of not being enough, if any of you out there are wondering whether you're good enough, whether you are enough, whether you have enough, whether you bring enough, whether you do enough, please, please, please release all of that. You are everything. You are everything you've ever hoped for, everything you're waiting for. You are the gift of life to life. I want the spirit of my brother to catch up with you anytime you are feeling low, like you didn't do it right. I want him to put his arm around you. And I want him to remind you of the gift you are and the gifts you bring. To you, it may feel like a breeze suddenly came and cooled you. It may feel like the sun came from behind a cloud and warmed you. You may see a hawk fly by that amazes you. Marvel at the beauty of the world that would not be as beautiful had you said no. I won't go. I won't go and be born in flesh. It's too complicated. There's too much opportunity to be hurt and wounded. I won't go. You are not here because you were forced to come. A call went out in the realm of the invisible. Who will go to planet Earth to end the dream of darkness by being the light? Who will go to planet Earth to be the love someone is waiting to be embraced by? To speak the words, you can do it. To pick you as their first pick. Because they see something you sometimes are blind to. Your extraordinary, beautiful self, pregnant with a greater self and a greater self, uniquely you. Know who you are and be that. Marvel at the beauty of the world while you're alive. And love. Wow. Thank you again, my brother John, for reading the Daily Word, which I had not seen. Jesus informed the people around him before he bowed and went home. There are so many laws, so many rules, so many commandments. You must be confused. It must be confusing to know what you should do and what you shouldn't do, what you can and cannot do on the Sabbath, how you must bless your food, how you must walk, how you must talk, who you must and mustn't hang out with. Wow, so many rules, so many regulations. I give you one that fulfills them all. Love God with all of your heart, all of your soul, all of your mind, all of your strength. Love yourself with all of your heart, with all of your soul, with all of your mind, with all of your strength. And love your fellows with all of your heart, with all of your soul, with all of your mind, with all of your strength. As I listen to you, my brother John, read the daily word, I could not help but know what a fun way to live. What a fun way to live each day. Being love and extending love to God, myself, and others. This is who you are. You are the love of God made flesh. You said, I'll go. I will fall asleep in heaven and awaken on earth and call it being born. And I will marvel at the beauty of the world. And I will honor myself by knowing who I am and being that. Wow. So easy. So effortless. Let it be. We are one self, united with our Creator, at one with every aspect of creation. And we are limitless in power. And we are limitless in peace. So to everyone, let us offer quietness. To everyone, let us offer peace of mind. So to everyone, let us offer gentleness. When God is in your mind, God is in everything you see. It's so fun. My cup runneth over. Surely goodness and mercy have got my back. And I will dwell in the consciousness of my blessedness forever. Forever is a good long time. Thank you for your listening.